Utah, and the first possession will go to the team on the road, the Nevada Wolfpack. Deonte Burton, outstanding freshman point guard, runs the show for Nevada. Dario Hunt misses the first shot of the game.
I don't mind it, Dave, because I like the set that they get into. They're trying to establish Hunt early. He was in foul trouble a majority of the game the first time they played up in Nevada.
Very competitive game in Reno. Aggies pulled away late to get the win on the road, but Nevada has, over the last few years, played Utah State tougher than anybody else in this conference. There's Ty Wesley down low, going to work. Very patient offensive player, but he misses his first look of the game.
Good defense by Hunt. He knows the scouting report. Ty Wesley likes to go with that left shoulder and loves to pump fake. He stayed down, and that's what Deonte Burton will do best. Penetrate. Utah State worked on that in shoot-around today, trying to stop that penetration, keeping the ball out of the paint.
But Burton with the first bucket of the game. A player young, but getting a lot better. There's Brocky Payne, who finger rolls it in. The answer on Utah State's offensive end.
A little bit of a freshman mistake by Burton. He anticipated Payne going to the screen. Payne with the sweet crossover and nice finish.
Hunt, not a real outside shooter on the perimeter. As the Wolfpack on offense. Malik Story, good shooter, good scorer, wildly out of control, and he commits the offensive foul.
Story's a big guard. He's 6'5", 225 from Los Angeles, California. He loves to get to the paint. He's not just a three-point shooter. He will initiate contact. Nate Bendel does a great job of moving in front, taking the charge.
So Story commits a personal foul. That goes as a turnover, and the Aggies have the ball back. Pooh Williams on the perimeter. Enters it again down low. Ty Wesley. No double team, and he scores.
Hunt's letting him get a little bit too deep. You want to force Wesley off the block on his catches, make him catch about 10 or 15 feet where he's less effective.
Burton, another aggressive move. This time missed the shot from short range. Payne, floater, too strong. The young Wolfpack looked fairly comfortable in the early minutes on the road. A real challenge for Nevada in tonight's game. Story pulls up, and the high arcing shot goes down.
Well, one thing about this team, they're going to have a lot of confidence. They were up 10 points with under 14 minutes to go at their place. Ended up losing by 14. A big factor. They went cold and started to turn the ball over in the second half at home. So they're not going to be intimidated by this Utah State team.
There's Newbold and some contact on the jump shot. They say a clean block. The Wolfpack get it back. Story for three. No good. Hunt, excellent offensive rebounder. There's Jerry Evans from outside. Way off the mark. And he'll hear about it from these Aggies fans.
Any mistake you make tonight, if you're a Nevada Wolfpack player, you're going to hear about it.
An amazing student section here in Logan. Bendel.
Nate Bendel receives the down screen from his partner Ty Wesley. Pops right to the top, easy 17-footer.
Not usually a big part of his game, but he does have some range on the outside. 2-point lead for Utah State here at home. 21st ranked team in the country.
Nevada's going to want to keep going down low. They don't want to get into a jump shooting contest with this Utah State team.
Evans not shy to take another one, and he gets the friendly roll.
Evans, the lefty from Lusinger High School, home of Russell Westbrook, knocks down the sweet jump shot. Now we see a first possession of zone by the Wolfpack. Coach Carter wants to implement this to change up what Utah State does offensively. Utah State's so sharp in their offensive sets, he wants to throw them off balance a little bit.
Payne is not a real outside shooter. He likes to do that.
Payne has actually taken the most field goal attempts on the team this year, but he's at his best when he's getting into the paint.
Burton again goes to the bucket. An answer from Deonte Burton.
How about the twist of the body to move around Bendel and finish at the rim? This freshman is maturing really fast.
He's got a chance to be right there with some of the greats that have recently played in the Wolfpack uniform. Good pass down low. Bendel scores.
Not an easy pass that Pooh Williams made, an over-the-head bounce pass from the corner. Good look by Pooh Williams.
Not much room to operate there. Williams got it down low. Here's Burton again. Oleg Chiz, super talent. Varied offensive game. You see him step under there. No good though. Chiz follows his own miss, looks to score again, and does.
Chiz, one of the best athletes in the WAC conference there with the nice up and under, stays with the play. You're taught to follow your shot. He anticipated where the miss was coming off, used his athleticism to rebound and finish.
Pooh Williams from near the free throw line. No good. On the ground, Hunt scoops it up. Well, Wolfpack may have an advantage here. Burton, Story. This time he shoots a three. Off the mark to the side. Bendel controls.
Don't need it. Contested shot. You've gotten to the rim 3 or 4 times already into the lane. Continue to penetrate that lane. Then that will open up the three-point shot later in the contest.
Not a lot of whistles here in the early going. A lot of flow to this game. Wesley, they're just daring him to shoot. So he does and misses. Now Burton slowing down on this possession. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. There's Hunt on the baseline. Too strong.
That's not his game. Hunt needs to be posted up, back to the basket, trying to get to the rim. Not a great jump shooter. And block Keith Payne makes him pay on the other end of the floor.
Nobody stopped Payne. Payne's got 6 early points. Oleg Chiz does shoot well from the outside. He's one of those post players who can step out and shoot from distance. Jerry Evans is still hearing about that air ball from several minutes ago. That's what Hunt does. Excellent offensive rebounder, best in the WAC.
3rd offensive rebound already 8 minutes into this game. And Utah State does not give up a ton of offensive rebounds on the season.
So our first time out of the game, and it comes almost 7 minutes in, a little over 7 minutes in, as Utah State with a 12-11 lead here inside the Rockin' D. Glenn Smith Spectrum. The WAC standings as follow. Utah State 9-0, perfect in league, 20-2 overall, and it's really everybody else, Miles, who's chasing the Aggies.
Yeah, Utah State is just an experienced squad. They're led by 6 seniors, especially Ty Wesley, the preseason conference player of the year, and they're just one of the most efficient teams in the league. They just don't beat themselves.
Utah State, they've won 3 conference titles in a row. Nevada had won 5 in a row prior to this Aggies run. So these have been the 2 dominant programs. That's the guy who's leading the way this season. Ty Wesley, the senior from Provo High School, came up the road here to Logan. 14 points a game, almost 8 rebounds, a block a game. And Ty Wesley, part of this winning streak for the Aggies here at home that has reached 26 games overall. It's the 3rd longest streak in all of college basketball. Kansas's streak ended just recently. So Duke, Kentucky, Utah State, that's some pretty good company.
Yeah, Dave, I played in some impressive places as far as crowd noise and home court advantage, but this is one of the best in the country that I've been in. The fans are very knowledgeable. They're into the game. They know the opposing team's players' names and their backgrounds, and they're ready to get after you from an hour and a half before the game starts.
And we figured it would be a real disadvantage for a young Nevada team, and I think it is, but you'd have to say that the Wolfpack so far have shown some poise in their ability to sort of handle the crowd pressure here.
I think poise is the key word that you just used. They've been getting in the lane. They've gotten into their sets. They've mixed up defenses. They don't seem to be playing tight at all. They've been attacking.
So Utah State with a 1-point lead out of this timeout. The Aggies will have the ball. 12-11 for the 21st ranked team of the country. And we welcome those of you who just watched Oklahoma State at home beat a ranked Missouri team. Welcome to Logan, Utah, inside the Rockin' D. Glenn Smith Spectrum. A WAC matchup. 21st ranked team of the country, the Aggies of Utah State, at home against the Nevada Wolfpack. And Brock Keith Payne, the junior point guard for Utah State, draws a foul and gets himself to the free throw line. He has been very active, Miles, on the offensive end early in this game.
Aggressive early, really putting the ball on the floor, getting to the rim. 6 early points now going to the line now for his second shot.
But the Wolfpack have been game so far, and Nevada has played Utah State very tough over the last several seasons in this league. Payne will take his first break. It's a pretty tight rotation for Stu Morrill's club. He doesn't use a lot of bodies, so he gets his starters rest very sporadically. Going to the bench for the first time and also going to a zone look on the defensive end.
Yeah, zone look is not what he likes to do at home, but to mix it up against this Nevada team, just wants to shake up the defenses a little bit.
Nevada also going to the bench with 4 reserves in the game all at once. Mass substitution for David Carter. Here's one of them, and the freshman Burris with a jump shot that was way too strong.
I think Coach Carter's just going to try to get to this under 12 timeout, and he'll bring those Ches and Hunt and Burton. You can't leave those guys out for too long in an atmosphere like this.
Here's Brady Jardine, excellent athlete down low, and he finishes with the left hand.
Jardine nearly ambidextrous. He can go over each shoulder, finish with each hand by the rim. One of the best athletes on this Utah State team.
Big time jumper, big time rebounder.
And Dave, if you notice, the Nevada Wolfpack assistant coach, Dennis Gates, he's using a whiteboard to relay the offensive set calls to this young Nevada team so they don't have to call it out themselves.
(15-13). Wolfpack hanging right there with the Aggies. And once again, Jardine with a nice move on the offensive side.
Yeah, it just comes off a little curl cut, catch and shoot right at the foul line. That's easy jumper for Brady Jardine.
Utah State, Miles was talking about it, uses all kinds of complicated sets on their offensive end. Wolfpack are trying to counter. As Darrell Connor looks back to the bench, and the Wolfpack call a play of their own. 10 to shoot for Nevada, and Hunt looking to make a move himself. Initiated contact. It'll be an offensive foul. So the foul against the Wolfpack, and another timeout on the court. Well, welcome to Wednesday Night Hoops, presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. We are here in Logan, Utah for WAC basketball, and the homestanding Aggies, the power team in this conference these days. Utah State 20-2 overall, a perfect 9-0 in the WAC, and off to a 4-point lead here in the early going at the Spectrum. And in case you're joining us late, welcome to the broadcast. Dave Fleming along with my partner Miles Simon. Miles, it has been impressive early on. We always talk about it. You come here to Logan and you experience the great atmosphere. These students come out in huge numbers. They got all the coordinated chants and cheers. They're very loud. But the Wolfpack are playing with poise, and they're playing with some energy early on.
Yeah, Coach Carter and this Nevada team, he has 10 fresh faces on his roster this year, and he was worried that this crowd could be an X factor of getting into his players' heads and them not being ready. But they've come out very poised so far, running their sets, haven't been rushed or hurried.
The problem is, can you withstand the challenge for the full 40 minutes? Because Utah State is such a precise team. I mean, this is one of the most precise, execution-oriented teams on both ends of the floor of any team that we see across the West.
Well, one thing, they're never going to beat themselves. This is a team that they know all their sets up and down, inside out. They know where they're going to go with the ball, mostly to Ty Wesley, you know, to start the offense. And they have great role players and guys that know the system and know their roles on a team, what they're in there for all night long.
And one of those guys for Utah State, you might have missed it early on, the early minutes of this game, getting the job done, was Brock Keith Payne.
Yeah, Brock Keith Payne, a junior college transfer. He's a big guard. He's 195 at the point. He can take physical contact, but he loves to get to the rim there, as you see him slicing through the Wolfpack defense early on this game, and he's really got the Aggies off to a great start.
The biggest story for the last few moments as you take a look at Stu Morrill, the all-time winningest coach in this program, one of the great coaches in all of college basketball. Look at that win percentage here at Utah State, almost 76%, over 300 wins here, over 500 career coaching wins. Stu Morrill on one side. David Carter has to be a little concerned. Just a second-year coach, his career just starting. One of his star players is now on the bench, Miles. That last foul before the timeout against Dario Hunt was his second.
And this is a repeat of their last matchup. Dario Hunt got 3 early fouls, sat on the bench, only played 10 minutes in a matchup that Nevada led most of the game. And Hunt could be a big loss if he can't come in for the rest of this half.
Yeah, hard for them to be as good as they can be without Dario Hunt. The three-pointer missed and saved inbounds by the excellent freshman Deontay Burton, who is turning into quite a young player for David Carter's club.
Yeah, Coach Carter had high praise for Burton. He just says his understanding of the offense now, because Nevada runs a ton of set calls also, but his understanding of the offense and patience, and he said his knowledge of how he's picked up the college game has gave him a lot of confidence as he's been tearing up the league the last 5 games.
You saw Oleg Chiz, the Duke transfer now playing with Nevada, draw the foul as he looked to make a move underneath the basket. And Chiz takes the inbound play here. Burton will attack down the lane. The rebound comes to the Aggies.
Not a shot you need. The defense was set, and that was just off one pass. Burton has to get more guys involved.
E.J. Ferris, bench player, missed in transition there. The Wolfpack get it right back.
With Hunt out of the game, I'd love to see the Wolfpack get the ball to Chez, to Oleg Chiz down low, see what he can do in a one-on-one situation.
Devontae Elliott, another Wolfpack freshman down low, got fouled. So Elliott will go to the free throw line. Nate Bendel gets called for the foul. That's his first. And Elliott will shoot free throws. He is not a particularly good free throw shooter, just 54% for the year. Another LA area kid playing in Reno. Perfect on the first one.
Dave, we talked about what a young team this is. You know, Coach Carr, he inherited an excellent roster with 2 great players in Armand Johnson and Luke Babbitt last year. Both guys that put up huge numbers in the WAC conference and are now playing in the NBA. So it was a lot to replace for this Wolfpack roster.
It's almost a total rebuild in Nevada this year, and they're getting better as the season goes on. A little token pressure there from the Wolfpack. Within 2 on the road against this very good Utah State team. Nevada's shown its own look on defense again on this possession. There's Brian Green, who's a current WAC player of the week. He's not a starter for Utah State, but explosive offensive player off the bench.
Yeah, he's an instant offense guy off the bench with deep range. They'll love to get him involved.
Story in transition after the turnover. Chiz will shoot the 3, but aggressively offensive foul.
Utah State, 3rd charge that they've taken already this half. You see how disciplined defensively they are. They don't fall for the fake. Ferris moves his feet, gets his chest in front as Chiz lowers his shoulder. Easy call by the referee.
Yeah, you don't have to be fully set. If you've established position, you can be moving if the offensive player initiates contact, and that's his 2nd foul. So Hunt and Chiz, the 2 stars down low for Nevada, both on the bench with 2 fouls. There's Brady Jardine, had it poked away, out of bounds. And the Aggies will keep it. Payne comes back in. Ferris comes out. So Brockheath Payne got a quick rest on the Utah State bench. A 20-2 Aggies team. They have won 26 in a row here at home. And they haven't lost in league at home in almost 4 years.
Look at this lineup the Wolfpack have on the floor right now. 4 freshmen on the floor going in a hostile atmosphere. Let's see how they react.
Now 2 on the shot clock. Jardine just gets it away. Bendel trying to control the offensive rebound. Does.
Bendel just outworked Panzer on the weak side there. Snuck in for the offensive rebound. Now Jardine makes a play.
known for his offense, but we've seen a couple nice moves from Jardine already. Burton just heaves one up and it goes.
And Burton throws his hands up. He wants a foul call, but that was good defense by Utah State. And trust me, Nevada's not going to win the game if they come down and just try to score after no passes. That will not be a success tonight.
Burton leads the way for the Wolfpack so far with 6 points. Here comes Payne again, and this time offensive foul going the other way as Burton draws the charge. Good action here in Logan. The Aggies, 21st ranked team of the country with the early 2-point lead. What an atmosphere for college basketball here in Logan, Utah, the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum. And you can tell the students fairly confident about the outcome of this game. That was just before tip-off. And yes, they do believe they're going to win every time the Aggies take the home court. They have won 26 games in a row here. It is such a fun place to be for college basketball. Third longest home winning streak in all of college hoops. But so far, the Nevada Wolfpack are hanging tough with the Aggies, and Nevada has the ball out of the timeout, down just 2.
Dave, as a former player, played at high level in college, I used to love coming on the road to atmospheres like this. And Oleg Chiz was receiving a lot of the attention in warm-ups today because he's one of the better players. But a lot of times that made me focus more as a player because I wanted to quiet the crowd with my play. And so far, Nevada has done a great job of being under control, only down 2 with 7 minutes left in the half.
Utah State with the ball. Of course, my partner, Miles Simon, great player with Arizona in the Pac-10. And you get to experience Mac Cord and Pauley Pavilion and Maples Pavilion. There's Green, who's the three-point specialist.
When you're running zone offense, you want to get the ball inside that high post area, inside then out. That's exactly what they did. Freed up the three-point shot for Brian Green.
Story tried to answer but could not knock down the shot. So the Aggies with a contribution from the current WAC player of the week, Brian Green.
Look at the great high post entry. And Ty Wesley, he knows where he's at right away. There wasn't even a hesitation that ball was going to Brian Green in the corner for the 3.
Such a poised player, Wesley, on the low block. This is the biggest lead. Tight game so far. Wesley was way off the mark there. Darrell Connor in at the point. Burton on the bench. Connor banks it in.
Again, not a recipe for success. And I know one has gone in for Connor, one has gone in for Burton. But coming down and running offense on the road in a hostile atmosphere and not making any passes when the defense is set will hurt the Wolfpack in the long run.
You would figure that's not going to work over the course of the full game. Here's Pooh Williams, cut off baseline. Payne is not a great outside shooter. That one rattled out. Patrick Nieko, who's been getting to play more minutes of late for Nevada, chased down the loose ball. A bench call for the Wolfpack from David Carter. Connor shoots a 3. The tip up by Nieko, and he gets fouled, so he'll go to the line. Well, we want to remind you that here on ESPN, coming up tomorrow, a couple of good matchups. Ohio State, the #1 ranked team of the country, 7 Eastern at home against Michigan. Not on the gridiron, on the basketball court, Notre Dame DePaul at 9 Eastern. For a Thursday night showcase presented by T. Rowe Price tomorrow. Nieko's first free throw no good, and of course Miles, Ohio State with Jared Sullinger. I know you've been impressed with the way the freshman has played.
He's in the running for National Player of the Year. I love what he does down low. He seals guys. He can finish around the basket. He's unselfish. My thing is, I don't understand. I've watched a bunch of his games. Why more teams in the Big Ten are not fronting him and denying him touches, and then when he gets the ball, bringing automatic double teams. He demands that much respect right now with the way he's been playing.
Well, we'll see tomorrow if Michigan changes things up a little bit, defends him in a different way, because Sullinger's been so good. Meanwhile, Stu Morrill watches Nevada miss a couple of free throws, and his Aggies get the ball back. Utah State runs some offense. Green thought about another look. Instead, extra ball movement. Williams pulls the trigger and knocks down the three.
Dave, this team is so unselfish. Green passed up that open look. They made 3 more passes, and it comes back to the top to Pooh Williams. When you have an unselfish team like that, it makes everything easier on the offensive end because you feel that the ball is going to come back to you, and you don't have to force anything on the offensive end.
Biggest lead for Utah State, and Payne just picks Connor clean all the way, drawing the foul. Brockheath Payne having an excellent first half.
Brockheath Payne just down low in the stance, picks Connor's pocket really easy, tucks the ball away as Panzer was going for the steal. Brockheath Payne has come to play tonight. You know, he had big shoes to fill. Jared Quayle was an all-conference guy here. Last year, a great point guard who ran Stu Morrill's system to perfection. Brockheath Payne coming from junior college, it's not easy to adjust to all the things that Coach Morrill has wanted from him, but Coach Morrill said he's been so coachable and that he's one of the best kids he's ever had in his program.
Well, Quayle, the only contributor really that Utah State lost off of their NCAA tournament team from last year. Payne makes both free throws. But it's the point guard, right? So if you're going to lose one guy, that's a pretty key guy to lose. And Payne has done an excellent job filling in.
Utah State has done a great job of switching up their defenses from zone to man and has made tough looks, but they're an excellent pass from Burris to Story. Story's a big guard, 6'5", who can post up.
So not a bad look there for Nevada. Sends Story down low, trying to get some looks closer to the basket. A lot for Nevada has been from the outside in this first half. Wesley skips it over the top. Williams for 3. No good. And Burton is back in. Nevada missed him while he was on the bench. Almost lost the handle there. They're going to call a foul, and they're calling it against the Wolfpack. So Chukic underneath the basket commits the foul. Turnover, Nevada. We'll come back to Logan right after this. All right, thanks, Ryan. Wednesday Night Hoops presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. 6-point lead here in the first half for the 21st ranked team from Utah State. And Ryan was talking about some of the things that have been going on here out west. Jimmer Fredette, what a week he had, particularly the showdown with San Diego State at home and the spectacular win they had. St. Mary's get their first win at Gonzaga in a decade and a half. And yet both of those teams stumbled after big wins. Meanwhile, here, the Aggies at Utah State, no stopping Stu Morrill's club, Miles, because they have just kept rolling on. They're 20-2 and a perfect 9-0 in the WAC.
St. Mary's, a team that I've seen a couple times in person this year. Excellent squad led by Mickey McConnell and Del Vadova. They get the big win at Gonzaga on the last second shot in a game that you did. But then they just ran into a buzzsaw at Portland 2 nights later. Portland was just on fire, started the second half on a 25-2 run. But you notice when we talk about the West right now, we didn't talk about the Pac-10, not one bit. 3 other conferences we talked about.
Now the Mountain West, the WCC, the WAC. Pac-10's got Washington, got Arizona. As Burris way off the mark that time. But Wesley could not handle the loose ball. Elliott missed the short shot. Then Hunt, who's back in with 2 fouls, got fouled and goes down in a heap. He's holding that right ankle. And the Wolfpack can hold their collective breath and hope that he's okay.
Well, good hustle on the offensive glass, just being active. Hunt gets pushed, comes down awkwardly on the right ankle, but it looks like he's going to be okay. He's just walked it off.
So the foul against the Aggies, not a shooting foul. Nevada will have a fresh shot clock and inbound underneath the basket. And Hunt, it didn't look that pretty, but he stays in the game. Oleg Chiz has got 2 personal fouls, and he comes back in. So David Carter, with 3 minutes plus to go in the half, rolling the dice a little bit. Hunt down low, scores off the glass. I guess the ankle's okay.
That stack set that he run, double stack on each side of the rim, just a little curl cut or a brush screen to get Dario Hent the ball down low. That's a point of emphasis Coach Carter put in this last week that they had to prepare for the Aggies.
Ferris, backup point guard in for Utah State. I haven't gotten Brian Green many looks. Wesley, great bounce pass. Bendel had it blocked from behind, though.
Story with the active hands coming from behind after the nice bounce pass against the zone.
The Wolfpack are hanging right there with the Aggies.
Here comes the same call again. Just a brush screen by Story to get Hunt down low. Great position.
And that time he tried the wraparound move, but didn't finish. Ty Wesley's had a very quiet half. He's the leader for Utah State. Finds Green, the shooter, no good. And the ball tipped out of bounds off of Nevada. Utah State basketball. Well, ESPN, your home court of college hoops. Saturday night, a couple of games. First in the ACC, fifth-ranked team in the country. They were #1, Duke at home against NC State. 6 Eastern, then 9 Eastern in the SEC. Florida at home against Kentucky. That'll be a good matchup there. Saturday primetime presented by DirecTV.
That Kentucky-Florida matchup crucial in that SEC East as Kentucky gets upset by Ole Miss last night. Chris Warren hitting a deep three, and Florida pulls off an overtime victory against Vanderbilt at home.
Yeah, so drama in the SEC lately, and that game you'd expect will be a close one. Here's Newbold off the screen. The three rattled out.
Nevada really holding Utah State to one and done almost every time down the floor.
And challenging a lot of shots. Utah State, very efficient offensive team. They haven't really been that in this first half.
Yeah, they've led the country 3 of the last 6 seasons in field goal percentage. Freshman mistake by Devontae Elliott. Easy push off as Mike Reed makes the call on the offensive foul.
The easy call for the official. Elliott did not disguise that one, and that goes as a turnover. The Wolfpack have made some mistakes here in the last few minutes, but still down just 4. Wesley looked for the cutter. It wasn't there.
The zone has been really active. Big hands. They're using their long arms and athleticism to get the shooters and cover ground.
Williams for 3. No good. Wesley there sticks it back in.
That's where they missed Dario Hunt on that possession. Devontae Elliott just not physically strong enough to box Wesley out.
So a quick timeout for David Carter. Final minute of the half. Utah State up by 6. Under a minute to play. First half here in Logan. Utah State at home with a 6-point lead against Nevada. Take a look at the WAC standings piles. Utah State 9-0. Nevada, overall record not pretty, but in conference they've been much better.
They're on a 4-game winning streak now. They're playing well. The team is gelling. It took time to come together. You remember Oleg Chiz sat out the first semester of this season because he was a transfer from Duke.
Hunt on offense got double teamed and could not pass out of it, but the ball saved to Chiz, who dunks it with the foul.
Stu Morrill really upset at his senior Tyler Newbold. Golden rule of basketball: never save the ball underneath your own basket unless you're 100% sure. And Oleg Chiz dunking on Brian Green, making him pay.
Now, Green had no chance to prevent that basket. He was trying to, and he just got overwhelmed. The athleticism of Oleg Chiz is eye-opening when he gets a chance to put it on display. He's got an opportunity for a 3-point play. Started off his career at Duke and played as a freshman.
Yeah, he got some time, just wasn't the right fit. Now he's back home. He played high school ball in Reno, Nevada. So he's back home now playing for Coach Carter, doing a great job in league. He's 50% from 3. He's not just an inside player. He goes inside and out, pretty versatile.
And I like what David Carter's done here in the late stages of this first half. Chiz and Hunt both with 2 fouls. A lot of offense-defense substitutions. Newbold trying to make up for his mistake on the other end, but missed the 3.
Nevada's zone has made Utah State a jump shooting team in this first half.
Shot clock is off. Wolfpack are going to try to hold for the final look. What has been a very competitive, and maybe surprisingly so, first half from Logan.
Watch for 1-4 low for Burton. He can go by Williams and look for Utah State's team to sag in, try to make him kick it out.
Here's Burton. Gets his defender in the air and draws the foul. So Burton, with a veteran kind of move, the freshman gets himself to the line.
Excellent play by Burton. The patience, uses the pick and roll, drags it out to the side, uses a great up fake to draw Pooh Williams, who is Utah State's best on-ball defender. Mistake there, but it is going to be just 2 shots, not 3, as his foot was on the line.
I think they're going to take a look, Miles, though. That's what Scott Thornley and his crew are going to want to see here before the free throw. So we'll show that replay to the officials, and they'll take a look and determine how many free throws Burton gets.
Yeah, Burton right there goes with the up fake, steps in, right foot over the line. Won't be any problem for them to see that one.
And Scott Thornley saw it on the first look. Nice job by our guys back in the truck to show him quickly. And so the interruption of the game is not significant. 2.1 seconds. Burton shoots 2.
Now 2.1 seconds is enough time to get the ball up, make a pass, and get the ball up into the front court. But watch for Nevada into a 1-2-2 pressure to slow that up.
Made them both. It's a 1-point game. We'll see if the Aggies can get a shot off here. Green from midcourt. Way too short. And so it is halftime in Logan. Utah State very good when they lead at the half. 41 straight wins when they're up at halftime. And yet this is a slim margin. Just 1-point lead. 29-28 Aggies. Now let's join Ryan Burr and Jay Williams in our studio with the ESPN halftime report.